If you're struggling with belly fat and low Iman, this is not a video you want to skip. Because what I'm going to do in this case study, I'm not just going to show you how it worked for someone else. I'm actually going to tell you what you need to do. And just need to take this short period of time, watch the video to the end, and it makes so much sense. And you're going to know exactly, okay, this is actually the step I need to take to get rid of my belly fat and to make sure I'm praying on time or whatever you're struggling with right now. And the best part is, if you make sure to purify your intention and you're doing this to get closer to Allah, imagine every minute you spend watching this video is actually a minute you're worshiping Allah because you're trying to get closer to Him. Now, let's not waste any more time talking and let me show you the good stuff. So here we got Afsan from the US, specifically Denver. He's originally Pakistani, mashallah tabarakallah, and he contacted me a few months ago and he was in his worst shape, physically and spiritually. And you can actually see where he was on the left side of this picture. And alhamdulillah, after we actually found the right solution for him, he lost all of his belly fat and his man went through the roof in just 6 weeks. And how we did this is probably going to shock you because it's probably not what you think it is. It's no extreme diet. It's no crazy workout routine. It's actually quite the opposite. So let's take a look at what he actually did before. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, there we go. So the first thing he was doing was stressing about going to the gym. He was trying to go there 3 times a week with his friends, but he failed, obviously. Like, he skipped most of those times and it just increased his level of stress, which is really bad if you want to lose weight. The other problem he did was starving himself. So he tried to eat only once a day, 1 meal a day, but it didn't work because he gained weight instead of losing weight. And that obviously made him really frustrated. Another thing he did was depriving himself by not eating any carbs or desserts. So imagine he coming from Pakistan, he want to eat biryani, but he's torturing himself. Not being able to do that makes no sense. It won't help anyone to be consistent. And the other thing he did was, like I told you before, 6 months prior to our first contact, he actually tried for 6 months multiple diets. Like, he tried keto, he tried counting calories, he tried the smoothie diets. Like, he told me all of these things. If you look at where he was, this is not the result you would expect someone dieting for 6 months straight. And the struggles he had when we started talking was he was procrastinating a lot. So the things he knew he should do with working out, eating, and praying, he was like delaying it. And he wasn't really consistent. There was a lot of inconsistency. Another problem was he had very low energy, which is obvious because he was starving himself and he had a lot of stress. And this is one of those things you don't want when you want to lose belly fat. What is he doing right now? Last time I checked was he's doing his 10-minute home workouts I made for him. Or if he cannot do that, he takes his daily walks. Very simple. And not only that, he eats 2 or 3 meals a day at least and have snacks. So you can imagine going from eating once a day while gaining weight to eating 2 or 3 meals and snacks and losing weight. You can imagine the feeling. You go from frustrated to very, very happy probably. And he's enjoying desserts whenever he wants. He actually told me a story about when his mother told him, like, oh, you shouldn't eat all of this or you should eat less, when he saw the eating strategy we made for him. And she was eating her dessert and he was also eating his dessert. And he said, Mom, look, I'm eating this and I'm actually losing weight. So something is working. And I'm going to show you how he did that so you can do the same. And obviously he's losing weight right now consistently and praying on time consistently, which is probably the most important part. So let's take a look at his daily routine. It's very simple. So let's start with his eating. So the thing here is there are multiple strategies that you can do, multiple diets you can do. The only diet that will work is the one that you can do consistently and that gives your body the nutrition it needs. What I noticed was when he ate once a day, he didn't eat enough protein. And there was a lot of inconsistency in the nutrition he had. So you can see one of the things I started with was actually making sure that he ate his breakfast. It doesn't mean that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It just means that it's easier to get the nutrition you need. So you can see there are carbs in croissant, banana, also some fiber in oatmeal, and also some yogurt, some high protein yogurt. So he gave his body the protein he needs. And sometimes he added egg whites and stuff like this. And no, it doesn't mean that you have to eat this. It just means that you need to make sure you give the body the nutrition it needs. And this was not the only thing. Like I said, he started snacking as well. You can see here he had to snack a whole sub with veggie patty sub and things like this. And also some sweets from time to time. And that's totally fine. Again, you need to make sure that it's a balanced diet you have with moderation. And let's take a look at the dinner example. Obviously, he was tired of depriving himself of the foods he loved. And one of the things he actually loved was the naan bread and chicken biryani. And let's not forget the French fries. He actually came to me 2 weeks after we started the program and he said, look, Simon, there's one thing I've always been wanting to do. I want to eat French fries. And I said, what have you been waiting for? Let's do it. He was like, what? Can I really do that and lose weight? I said, like, sure. Again, I showed him how to prepare his own French fries, air fried French fries, and make sure he's like minimizing the unnecessary stuff like oils and stuff. But yeah, you can see he's eating quite a lot of food, like from the breakfast, the snacks, and the dinner. And it's not like any food. We're focusing on high protein content. We're focusing on fiber and giving body what it needs. So the consequence of this is that the metabolism will go up, which makes sure that you burn more calories and give your body the nutrition it needs so you have the energy to wake up for Fajr, to pray on time, to not procrastinate all the time. So this is really important. This is like the foundation. Now, when you have that energy, then you can start look at the workouts you need to do. And no, it doesn't mean you have to go to the gym. Like Afan here had no time to go to gym. He was busy with working overtime and whatnot, and he had his family. So what we did was something I call Plan ABC. This basically means, in summary, that you have 3 different plans. And these Plan B and Plan C is backup plans for Plan A. So the main plan he did was 10-minute whole workouts. And I'm going to show you how I made his program here in the workout examples. But there were days, obviously, he couldn't do this. So I told him, let's do something else. For example, you can take daily steps because at his work, he was able to walk around so he could hit his step count. And if he couldn't do that or if it didn't work that day, then he'd do the bare minimum, which was like 5 push-ups. This takes like less than 10 seconds. And that's the idea. You want to make this as simple as possible, like bulletproof, so that you can actually be consistent with it. Because the whole theme here is to make sure that you're consistent. And this actually helped Afan to be very consistent and work out daily. Let's take a look at the workout example I gave him, the 10-minute home workout. So I put 5 different exercises. So the thing here is to make sure you're flexible in this. For example, I gave him push-ups, 2 sets, 10 reps, and have some rest in between. But in the beginning, he couldn't do that. He didn't have the strength. So I said, look, no problem. We'll add some alternative exercises, modified push-ups, wall push-ups, and you can do that instead. And then you want to mix this up. You want to make sure you include the whole body. So push-ups is a great upper body workout. It includes your chest, your arms, your shoulders, and even your abs. Then we did a version, like a squat version, bodyweight squats, really good for mobility and strength in your lower body. And obviously alternative exercise if he couldn't really do that. And then archer push-ups. This one is quite difficult, to be honest. So we started with plank with twist just to get that twisting motion. The hardest part is to actually have the core strength you need. So you can see I did it very simple. 2 sets each exercise with 10 reps each and mix it up with upper body and lower body workouts and some at the end. And this took him literally like 10 minutes to do. It helps you to be consistent with that and helps to make your body stronger over the long term. But what about accountability? Now, let me zoom out here. The thing here is you can have the most perfect plan. You can even have the flexibility as I showed you, but there are going to be days where you feel like giving up. So I kept him accountable every day, asked him how things were going. And one day he told me that things were really going down. Unfortunately, there was a lot of stress and he felt his mat was going down, plummeting. And there's always a reason to this. We went into that and I discussed with him and tried to analyze it, identify the problem. And we saw that, it's actually his salah not being on time. And there were some other things with his sleep as well. So I gave him a strategy that made sure he prayed on time, growing that Iman day by day. And subhanAllah, after, I think this was like a week later, I asked him again, how's the Iman now? He said, okay, his prayers on time and he feels much better. So sometimes you need to jump on a call, and that's what we did. And alhamdulillah, these calls gave him, like he said, the positivity he needed to start the day. So accountability is not only having someone to make sure you're doing things you need to do, but also giving you support when you feel low, when you feel sad, or you don't have motivation, or your man is going down. Because it's going to be hard to go through that all alone and by yourself. So the question is, why did this work for Afan? There's 3 main things. First things first is having a personalized structure. So with his eating, with his exercise and Islamic habits, he had his own struggles that are very specific to him. So he needed that structure to make sure he could overcome those challenges and make sure to be consistent with his eating, exercise, and Islamic habits. And in this case, his prayer. And not only that, structure is not really enough here. You need to have flexibility. That's why, like I showed you before, if we go up here with the workout, I added the plan ABC. So it's not like just one workout plan. There are 3 different workout plans, but he's able to pick one of them depending on if he has energy, if he's stressed or not. And then also make sure you have flexibility in your eating, for example. Keep everything in moderation. Stop restricting yourself, because restriction is not really helpful in many cases. And it's just going to make sure that eventually you're going to give up, or you're going to binge eat, or, and go back to the bad habits you had before, right? And then lastly, which is really, really important, if not the most important thing here, is to have accountability. Like I just showed you, there are days, all of us have bad days. Our iman goes down, we feel stressed and all that. So that's why you need that support during bad days when you have low iman. And have that also that moment of looking at the program, looking at the plan you're doing and adjusting it. Maybe there are things you need to change. Do more of what works and do less of what doesn't work. And you cannot really do that by yourself if you don't have the experience or knowledge to do so. And also to have that personalized guidance. Like I told you, after 2 weeks, he came and he wanted to have his French fries. He wanted to have his snacks. If you don't know how to do this, the chances are that you're going to overeat this stuff and you're going to gain weight. Like he did before when we got connected, he dieted for 6 months. Can you imagine? Half a year. And he ended up like this. This is not where you want to end up. And you end up here because you don't have the knowledge or the experience or the context to know what you're doing. So lastly, I want to ask you, do you struggle right now with belly fat or low iman, or maybe even both? And do you have a problem with procrastinating on the things you need to do? Or maybe you're doing them, but you're not really consistent with them. And are you struggling with, a lack of motivation, lack of guidance, not knowing what to do or when to do it? Let me give you a little solution here. If you watch the whole video and you feel like, look, Simon, I really want to fix up my life. Because if you came this far in this video, it tells me 2 things. You really want to fix this, but you don't really know how to fix it. So let me give you a solution. Very simple solution. If you go down to the description below on this video, there's a link there and you can access my calendar. What I want you to do is to schedule time with me or a representative from my team, so we can sit down, take a look at the things that are stopping you and see what kind of solutions are there. Can I help you out with that? Can we together create a program just like I did for our fan, so that you can get rid of your big belly and start training on time in the fastest and most consistent way possible? And if it makes sense, then we can start work together. And look, if I cannot help you, at least I can point you in the right direction. So nevertheless, it's going to be a win-win for you. So let's jump on a call together, take a little bit of time out your day, and try to fix this once and for all, because otherwise you are most likely going to struggle with this for years to come. And I'm sure you don't want to do that. I'm sure you want to set a better example for your families, both physically and spiritually. And I'm also very sure that you want to take care of your health, because at the end of the day, it's an amanah from Allah. So if you're ready to make a change, like Allah said, Allah won't change the condition of a people unless they change what's within themselves. So you need to take that first step. And I'm giving you the first step here. It's very easy, very simple. We can jump on that call together, see what kind of solution there is, what you need, what is missing, if I can provide that solution for you, and we can work together with that. Or if I can't, at least I can show you and point you to the right direction, inshallah. So that's the end of this case study, and I hope you enjoyed and I hope you feel inspired, because I feel inspired every time I look at this. So alhamdulillah, may Allah bless us and give us the best help. And don't forget, go down to this description below, schedule that call with me, and hear from you soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.